What's going on, man? It's your boy nYne, and this is your official character breakdown for the Shell miniseries, episode 1 through 6.
That old.
So we're gonna start at order of appearance. Of course, it's me. nYne. Walk in the stove, get sucked in the freezer thing. I'm gone. I'm in Backrooms. I'm by myself the whole first episode. I see something, but you don't necessarily end up finding out what I see until like episode 3. So this character, I didn't allow her to say her name, but we just gonna call her Labby. Do I know you?
What's your name?
That character is based on my grandmother, whose name was Livonia. However, everybody called her Cookie. That was my grandma Cookie.
Boy, this ain't no gas station.
I was very close to the grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time growing up at this grandmother's house. As a baby, that's the one that watched me. And when I learned how to walk, that's the one that was there. When she passed away, it was traumatic for me in a lot of different ways. Don't smoke that. She left a very big impression on my life, and a lot of her words stuck with me for a long time.
I, like so many others you seem not to see, believe in you. I always have.
The character Labby and the real person Cookie, similar, kind of different. My grandma she would cut though. I ain't even bullshit. She ain't hold her tongue for nothing. I remember she asked one of my friends, who was his mama, on crack because of his hairdo. Crazy shit in real life. My grandma ain't give a fuck, but at the same time, she was loving, she was sweet, she was insightful. She had a lot of great things to say about a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And when she passed, it impacted me a little bit more, I think, than a lot of other people, because of how close she was, not only to me, but to my mama and my sisters. That's probably why not only is that the first face you see on my dashboard in the Shell, but that's the first character that you're introduced to. It lets me know what's going on in the Shell. Derek is brought in as a football coach. Short haircut, blow the whistle, know who he is. But when he was blowing that whistle in real life, he had them dreads. This is why I eventually woofed him into who he was at that point in time in my life. My uncle was my pop's brother. He stayed with us for a good amount of time in my life. Me and his kids was raised like siblings. He was like the second father to me. He coached my football teams, all kinds of shit. He taught me life lessons. I've even put on punishment by my uncle before.
Okay, what you do, you don't quit. You understand me?
But that was definitely like a second father next to my dad, which was his older brother. He died of lung cancer not too long ago. Maybe 5-6 years ago. I had probably 4 big losses in life, and that was definitely one of them. So when leaving my grandmother in the Shell, I had to make sure that I implemented him into that. Choosing him to walk me through the life lessons that I chose him to walk me through.
I know you ain't think it was gonna all be taking ice cream.
Was because he was actually there for a lot of the life lessons that he walked me through.
Is your life like that?
Before he passed away. his different looks was based on different timings. The look you initially saw him from was later on in life when he got me a job working at a warehouse that we both got fired from. Wild story that you'll find out on my channel one time later. But him with the dreads is the him that I grew up with, which is why I chose that version of him to walk me through certain aspects of life.
I can see this is still hard for you to cope with.
Derek, his personality was pretty much spot on. I had to do his voiceover myself. I cloned his voice from a video of him proposing to his wife, his rightful wife, the one we accept as a family as his wife.
Before I give you your gift, it's not a gift, your answer is my gift. You're everything to me. You're my best friend in the world. And I want you to be that for me for the rest of your life.
Cut his voice from that and just basically spoke how he would speak to me to 11 Labs and spit that voice back out to me.
Look for yourself.
That's how I built the voice for my uncle. As far as his personality is exactly how it was. Teach you hard lessons. They'll do hard lessons.
Right, it ain't make you quit. Guess what?
Telling you why he's teaching you these hard lessons, when he's teaching you these hard lessons.
That's exactly why you need to feel this moment again.
And not letting you surpass them hard lessons without learning.
That fire needed to feel that again.
That was my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Can't do nothing but respect him for it. My uncle goes down as one of the one people in my life that I could relate to. Having as many kids and baby mamas that I've had. Shout out to my uncle, man. Rest in peace. But yeah, that was basically his personality.
So,
Shadia, the woman you saw giving birth in episode 4, she's also a woman that you saw laying next to me and delivering the news of my brother's demise to me from the living room. We have had a tumultuous relationship over the years, but I could honestly say, even though me and her fight like a motherfucker, still to this day sometimes, probably one of my best friends.
Shawty is smiling hard.
Yeah. Who is Shawty?
My baby's birthday.
Yeah.
When we get along, I can pretty much come to her ass about anything. You also saw her in episode 6 in the Chamber of Forgiveness. She's somebody I have forgiven a long time ago. We had to forgive each other. It's not just no one-sided thing. We had our differences. We had our life. We had our time. Our time expired. These in a marriage with, you know what I'm saying, a real cool ass dude. Nah, me and brothers. That's my dog. We raised 2 to 3 hard to explain amazing kids together. And that's what that is. She's also a follower of the series. Shout out to Shawty. Yeah, that's that person that y'all saw. That's my ex-wife, Shawty. So check this out. So the next 3 characters, or 3 or 4 characters I'm gonna talk about, are all kind of clustered in the same cluster. If you know me for in excess of 10 to 15 years, you know what the why is. I don't gotta explain that shit to you. If you haven't known me, and if that's not something, you know what I'm saying, I think that's just something I'm gonna leave up to the imagination, because in our essence, in our prime, that was something that we left up to the imagination. So I would tell you that the next few people that I present to you, known as the why, you know what I'm saying, that's the only explanation I'm gonna give. But we're gonna start with the person who brought me into it, which is my very own brother, Joshua King Keys Keith.
Like if I ever drop off, this what you can remember me by, nigga.
My big brother was probably one of the biggest impacts on my life, period. Growing up, I wanted to be like my brother. When I got grown, I followed behind my brother. When I got old enough to be outside for real, I was attached to my brother's hip. My brother used to lie for me and be taking me places I ain't had no fucking business being at. My brother used to protect me at all motherfucking costs. A lot of what y'all know about me it ain't for my brother.
Too stuck in my ways, I'm too hard to persuade. I'm anti-industry, I'm not running away, politicking in the air.
It wouldn't be right for me to make this film and not bring to light who my brother was and who my brother was to me. That's one of the people that y'all see in the clip of me in the car when my uncle says,
especially when you got old enough to really be around your brothers.
There you go, Scrap. There you go. You do it your way.
that's also the man that you saw laying in that hospital bed. I don't want to see this. That was my first death. That was probably the most life-changing moment of my life. A lot of people don't know this, but I was one of the, if not the very last voice my brother heard before he passed away. That day changed the entire trajectory of my life and 90% of the lives around me, which is why I couldn't make this story without adding that part to it.
Stay there. Stay there.
I don't know
Lean back.
how much lung capacity
Don't
you think I
look
got.
back. Don't look back. Okay.
My brother was my best friend. I wasn't his. My brother had a lot of fucking friends. That nigga was popular as shit. But I was nonetheless his little brother. Period. His best friend couldn't bother me. That's just it. At the end of the day, my story can't be told without him being in it. So I had to place him in my story. Which leads me to my next set of characters. S
This shit is fucked up, bro. For real.
and News.
So, how we gonna tell him?
Those are the two people that y'all saw in the hospital that basically broke the news to me that my brother was gone.
Hold on, bro.
Those are the brothers that I inherited through my brother. Those is his brothers, but they became my brothers. When I was younger, I was a lot closer to News because we spent a lot more time together. Me, him, and Keys all had girlfriends at the same girls' college. I was still in high school. And they used to pick me up and we used to go, you know what I'm saying? So I used to spend a lot of time with my brother News. As I got older, I spent a lot of solo time with the person that y'all saw sitting in the room with my brother when I actually got to the hospital, which is my brother Kudo. For a moment, for years actually, it was just me and him, bro. And that's partially because right before my brother died, it was really just me, him, and my brother in his last days, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Every other day. As I got older, I realized I had a lot more in common with my brother S, which is the dark-skinned one that was in the video with us in the hospital. Me and him got a lot in common. Our personalities is just right now. That's just it. He just don't got the extroverted side that I got. But outside of being on camera or being on somebody's stage or being in somebody's club, I'm just as quiet and as introverted and as chill and as laid back as my brother S. And we clicked on that. And me and him been like that ever since. Fun fact, that's the only voice that you heard in the shell that I didn't do myself. The shell had a lot of voiceover work. There was a lot of 11 Labs work, a lot of text-to-speech work, a lot of voice-to-speech work, a lot of voice cloning. But S came through, and when you heard him say...
It was an accident, bro. Bro broke his neck. Just glad you got to speak to him in time, bro. He in that room over there.
all his lines, he said those himself. So shout out to my brother pulling up for me in this, because that was real. Which brings me to my co-star, Dose. My dog, my bro, my producer, my right hand. The reason I chose bro to be my co-star in this, I think this show is deeper than bro even knows, to be honest with you. Ever since me and bro locked in on the music tip, because we've known each other since high school, but we locked in on the music tip probably about 12 years ago. 12, 13 years ago, somewhere in that time. But ever since then, bro, we've been locked in. I move, he move. I got an opportunity, I'm bringing it to him. He got an opportunity, he bringing it to me. We started this iconic authority business together. Me, him, and the next character I'm gonna talk about. 90% of the songs that y'all have heard from me have come from this family. We just locked in like that. They're my dog. What I feel like the Shell as a whole, not just the series, but what it is, and we'll get to that, is something that I'm going through.
I don't even know how I got here.
And I feel like it's something that he's been going through. He don't even,
Hell, I've probably been here longer than you have.
but he knows this, but he don't know that this is my mentality. It's something we both been going through separately and together for a long fucking time.
Only thing I do know is it got something to do with our careers, something to do with music, art, or something.
And it's something that it's time for both of us to break out. And you stuck here too.
I'm stuck here too.
Bro has been my co-star in life, in my career, and damn near everything I've done musically since I was in my early 20s, which is why I chose him to be my co-star in this series. And instead of making him just a guy, making him somebody that was in it with me, because he is in this mud with me. He's in the mud of his own. This is not only to tell my story, but to tell our story, because my story is in a way our story. And that's pretty much why he came in at the impact that he did.
Get in!
All of my characters, which is also an interesting fact about this, came in at the time that they came in my life. So when you see, with the exception of my brother and Shadi, that's a little mixed around, but you see my grandma and my uncle, that's family. You know what I'm saying? Then you see my ex-wife, you know what I'm saying? Then you see my brother, which you probably should have seen before my ex-wife, but still. Then you see my brother, and then you see the brothers that I inherited from my brother. And then you see, which is exactly how this shit happened in life. I lost my brother, you know what I'm saying? Me and my other brothers were on different paths, and I can't even say I found those. We found me, and we found each other, nigga, and we've been riding ever since, bro. That line that he says in this series,
Long as I'm around, you never alone. You know that.
that's the real dose. That's really our relationship, bro. I can't say nothing different about that shit. I can count on that nigga with anything. I can trust that nigga with anything, whether it's music or not. It's a lot of one-liners in episode 6 that make those seem kind of impatient and goofy.
Man, I'm hungry, bruh. You ain't hungry? I'm hungry as hell, bruh. Like starving, nigga. Bruh.
That's the complete opposite of who that man is, bro. Those probably the most patient person on this planet, bro. And far from goofy. Solid nigga, very mindful individual. A lot of his lines in episode 6 was brought in for comic relief. As far as his true personality, is definitely more so that of the one that you saw when we was just in the car talking about him being stuck there too.
I'm just glad to see you here, bro.
That's what dope. But I did add in those extra moments with him and Francois for comic relief. Francois used to be an artist.
No way.
Fun fact, when I met Francois, I was his graphic designer and I became his homeboy. Then I started showing up to his shows and he found out I had talent and we started dropping shit together. After a few years of that friendship grew into something that was more like family. Then when he decided he didn't want to do it no more, he saw something in me and decided, you know what, little bro, I'm gonna put my shit into you. And he been managing me ever since.
Nah, I'm just here to help guide y'all. You know, the usual shit.
That's basically the story, bro. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? That's my brothers. Within the last 5 years, 90% of the time, if I'm not in a club somewhere, if I'm doing something with music, you gonna see that nigga. That's just it. And if you don't, he ain't far away. That's just the God honest truth. Me and bro done been through a lot of shit together. Me and brother damn near had I ain't gonna say damn near had near death. We done had near death experiences together. We done rode in the back of ambulances together, did dirt together. We done did grand shit together. He was next to me when I signed my first mediocre ass deal and all of that shit. He gonna ride with me regardless.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
That's just it. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? If y'all from my side of town, y'all already know what it is with me and bro. So I couldn't go for it without putting bro in the series. It wouldn't be right without putting bro in the series. He been with me damn near as long as Dose has been with me, especially in the music shit.
Cut some of that nine shit on, nigga.
Come on in. Don't get comfortable.
Alright, so check this out. A lot of people think Slim new to my life. Slim's not new to my life. Slim was in my life when I was in a different level of life and I was doing some different things. But I've known Slim for over 13 years. My story with Slim is real similar to the one with Francois. Started with music, grew into a friendship, became like family. Then bro got locked up. Slim went into the chain gang, an artist, and he came back a manager. And he decided that he wanted to put his focus on me.
I did all that time, and coming home, I knew one thing. I wanted to help you, of all people, get to the next level, by any means necessary.
Him being my dog, my partner, my cousin, it was only right. I'm saying, so I definitely implemented bro into what I was doing.
You the most talented motherfucker I know. And this is what you doing with your talent.
And we've been rocking ever since, bro. You know what I'm saying? We working on making some real shit happen right now on music too. For real, bro.
Keep watching.
As far as his personality is concerned, that dark, mysterious, overly serious demeanor he had in the show was completely for theatrics. Bro ain't nothing like that. He a level of serious, but he more enthusiastic and extroverted than anything else. And I can't manage this shit, bro. Truth be told, I could write a book and bro would be behind me and managing that shit.
Just remember, you got two paths. Choose wisely.
Now, the last characters I'm gonna talk about were characters that didn't really have lines. First and foremost, gotta talk about Mama Keys, the one that hugged me in the waiting room of the hospital. That was my brother's mother. She tell me she loved me, she proud of me more than probably anybody in this world. And I'm just being honest with you, that's just real. I'm saying I love that woman to death. Chamber of Forgiveness. I feel like a lot of people took this wrong because of what I called it, as far as being called the Chamber of Forgiveness. When I say forgiveness, it wasn't necessarily about nobody doing something to me. It's things as a person I've held on to that I probably shouldn't have held on to. And it's affected relationships I actually give a fuck about. You may not even know why I felt the way I felt or I changed the way I acted. Chamber of Forgiveness was simply about me freeing myself of those pent up feelings, and in turn freeing those people of feeling like I got any kind of underlying feelings or feel some type of way about anything that happened in the past. Again, it ain't nothing to do with me feeling like somebody did something to me, nor did it have anything to do with me feeling like I've never done anything to be forgiven for. Some of those people I have forgiven already, but I just wanted to put them into my series because I got love for y'all. I'm saying I fuck with y'all. And y'all know what our situation was. That don't mean I gotta go, you know what I'm saying, displaying that shit for the public. But I just wanted to implement y'all because I got love for y'all and I fuck with y'all, and I thought y'all thought it would be cool to see yourself saying on camera. And if you don't, let me know and I'll take you out before we do the next phase of what we got going on. Which brings us to my final characters, my shell soldiers. People don't know who my shell soldiers are. I know who my shell soldiers are.
You think he figured it out?
Nah, at least not yet.
I've been thinking of who my shell soldiers were since episode 4. If you think you got a guess, and I'm not going to expose who my shell soldiers are, but if you think you got a guess, put it in the comments.
This ain't necessarily the type of role you really go looking for, you know?
I'll let you know if you're right. Or you could find out if you're right in the finale, which is coming out soon. This is your character breakdown for the Shell mini-series, episodes 1 through 6. I'm about 909. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Be on the lookout for the season finale, 4 and 6. That's it.